Yep. You know what time it is. Let's talk that barber shit. I know it's Sunday. I know people like, man, you shouldn't be cussing. It's Sunday. But God knows where my heart is. So I'm just gonna let Instagram do what it do. Start sending out that notification. Start letting people know that we going live. Like I always say, got another special guest coming out of Tennessee. We chopped it up in Vegas. I love his brothers. I love his brother's vibe. The things that, we got a chance to converse about already. So this is going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. Chop it up interview. So I'm looking forward to it. So just sit back, get ready. We be jumping into it soon. But I'm going to let IG do what it do. Start sending out that information. Start letting people know. And yeah, we're going to jump into it. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's talk that barber. Shh. All right, let's give IG a chance to let people know we're going to be jumping in pretty soon. All right, it's about that time. I'm going to send you the notification, let you know that we're ready. So, all right, let's get it going. Let me know when you're ready.
Garcia.
What up? How you doing, man?
What's happening, baby? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Beautiful day. Got
Beautiful day.
a little bit early. I was out there doing some work in the house in
Yeah,
front of the yard, so I had to dig up a lot of stuff in front of the yard. So I'm getting ready for a whole new land. So
yeah.
yeah, just getting ready for that. But
Big
yeah,
time.
I'm looking forward to this interview we got going on today.
Man, I'm glad you cleared the airwave about where our hearts is at, so we can say we here to talk that good barber shit today,
Right, right.
baby.
uh,
We here to talk that good barber shit today.
so I just want to say, man, when I linked up with you in Vegas at the expo, your vibe was dope. I'm looking forward to everything that we already got a chance to speak about. So it's layers to this. So I want to always like to talk about the beginning journey. What got you influenced? What built this channel of I want to take over the barber industry or just be a part of the barber industry and help elevate yourself and venture off into helping other people as far as well as your customers or friends that saw what you was doing, and then they was like, how do I get started and stuff like that. And then we're gonna talk about the middle point, your growing pains or the growth of taking new new challenges in your life, and then we're gonna dib and dab into what you're
Right.
doing now, and from all those experiences, all those journeys, the person that you are today and how it developed. So
For sure.
that's what Talk Your Barber Shit is all about.
For sure.
Influence those that seen you or heard about you, and they want to know, or they might be going through, similar things that you went through,
Yeah.
and they're having a hard time trying to break through. But hearing your journey, hearing your story, might give them more hope and say, yeah, he did it, I could do it too. And
Right.
it goes for not just men, it goes for women, it goes for
Mhm.
kids. You got kids now that's in
Right.
high school that's
Right.
jumping into this industry. So this industry is a great place to be in. We didn't really hear about that as kids,
Come
but we knew
on.
it was a part of our
Come
community. We knew that
on.
our friends, our teachers,
Mm-hmm.
everybody went to the barbershop. We heard about the stories from our grandparents, what the barbershop was originally about, as far as the black community. And, hopefully, we can get back to that. And,
It's crazy, Garcia. First off, let me say thank you for having me on this platform,
yeah,
man. Being able to share the platform with names like Sean and Jay and
yeah,
Houston 55. Shout out to my Tennessee native, my GOAT, the pioneer, Mr. Chin. Being able to share the platform with people like that, man, it's probably one of the most humbling things that's happened thus far into my barber journey. Uh, Touching base on a few things that you said, first and foremost was we didn't have a barbershop in my town growing up.
Oh wow.
My
Okay.
my mom had never took me to the barbershop as a kid, bro. Um, we didn't have a barbershop growing up. You know what I'm saying? So like, first off, I come from a place that's 1-2% people that look like me. So barbering wasn't something we seen at home. Now I traveled a lot. I used to go to Alabama and see my pops. Pops, he had a shoe shining shop called Cadillac Shoe Shining. So I used to would go down there and go to his shoe shining shop, and he had a barber shop a couple stores down, and he would give me a couple dollars. Hey, go down there and get your haircut. When we would go to
Yeah.
Huntsville, he'd say, go down there and get your haircut. You know what I'm saying? And I'll jump back into that in the middle portion because that's where that's where a seed was planted.
Good,
The
right.
seed was planted. He planted the seed in the middle part.
Yeah.
But he planted a seed that I was already familiar with that happened early in the journey. So you're gonna talk about the beginning journey. Like I told you the other day, man, single parent raised, my mom raised me. She worked for Oster's.
Okay. Yeah.
My mom worked for Oster's. Now the building is still here that she worked in. The fun fact about that, my girlfriend now works in the same building that I used to go in as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So like mom worked in the plant at Oster's, making clippers. There was days to where I wasn't able to go to daycare or whatever, so I would have to go to work with mom, and I would go in the break room, man, and just to kill time and to keep me off the floor. You understand what I'm saying? They would bring me baskets of clippers that didn't pass inspection.
yeah.
So they'd be loosely screwed. I would just have to take and this was the clippers it was the old bulky clipper. You know what I'm saying? This the old Oster clipper that you do the fade and the lineup with the same clipper. It didn't have no lever on it. You know what I mean? But they didn't pass inspection. And so I would just have to separate the housing, the clipper, never messing with any electrical cords or anything like that. You understand what I'm saying? It's just separating the housing and stuff like that. Mom used to would take refurbished clippers and give them to my uncle because again we didn't have no barbershop, so my uncles they used to have to would cut their own hair. And so it would be like, yo, them clippers you brought me tore up, I need some more. You know what I'm saying? So mom used to disperse clippers throughout the family to people because again we didn't have no barbershop.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You can fast forward a couple years later than that. My biological father, he wasn't a barber, a licensed barber, but he was an artist. He had an eye for artistic things, and he could cut hair. Now, he didn't use symmetry. We didn't use reference points and symmetries with him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He give you a mean fade, but he had your lineup back here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then he gonna have something so cold drew in your head, you wasn't even paying no attention to the lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Bart Simpson, Batman, cursive keys all in my head. You know what I'm saying? That was the 6, 7, 8. To when I seen him, that's what he was doing. Because every time I seen him, I had to have a haircut because we didn't have no barbershops. You understand what I'm saying? So every time I see him, the times that I did see him, I knew I was gonna come home with a good haircut. If I didn't know nothing else was gonna happen, the times that I seen my dad when I was a kid, the few times that I did, I knew I was going home with a clean haircut. And the next day that I went to school, everybody was gonna have their hands on my head looking at my haircut. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool. I got a cousin that was a barber in the city of Nashville back in the 80s, early 90s. Anybody that's going to be watching this, when you say the name Donkey Kong in Nashville, they know he's goated. You understand what I'm saying? He's goated. So, and like I said, Kong is my cousin. We share the same last name. We super close. So, barber was all on the journey, man. And I just didn't really know what God had for me because I was, we've been talking about this interview for a while now.
Yeah.
And last week I was on the way home from taking my daughter to dance. And the Holy Spirit told me, he said, I ain't going to stress it if you ain't going to steward it. And so I wasn't stressing the gifts and talents. You know, when God gives us gifts and talents, He never takes them back. But if we're not going to steward them, He's not going to bless them as He intends to. And I lived for a long time, Garcia, where I wasn't stewarding the gift. I wasn't stewarding the talent. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we're life in that middle part of my life. That middle section got real cloudy and real dark. You know. But been a barber for 8 years.
Okay.
Like I said, you know, over the phone a couple of days ago, came into the barber game late.
Yeah.
I wasn't cutting hair at 12, 13, 14 years old. I didn't have little brothers to practice on with my canvas, you know. My canvas was the canvas, you know. There was days when I was in high school, I'll go to school on Monday. I got an afro or a clean fade, and I want a fresh lineup Tuesday, so I go home and try to get in the mirror, and I got to go bald, bro. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I get to school, I'll miss a whole day of school because I'm shamed. When I go to school Wednesday, I'm bald. And they're like, bro, what you do to your hair? I had to cut it off, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But been a barber for 8 years. I started cutting hair in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Shout out to Sean Moses. My first stop in a barbershop was at Blue Raider Barbershop in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Okay. I thank God for that stop. I thank God for every stop that I had prior to moving home, because every stop that I had was influential in the development of my mental image of what a barber is. You know, pastor. He was a pastor, barber for 20-something years. He'd had a barber shop to where he'd had 20 plus barbers and 20 plus stylists in one shop, and lost it all. You know. Let me take that back. Left it all because God told him to leave it all. You know. Went through the valley, and now the man has got 4 shops in Murfreesboro, up teen amount of barbers. You know what I'm saying? Doing his thing. Shout out to Pastor Moses, Sean Moses. I love you. That was my first stop, and that let me know what not to do, because what I seen coming into the game was not what I seen coming into the barber industry was not what was going on in the barber game. You understand what I'm saying? What I seen coming into his barbershop is not what I seen going on social media, Facebook, Instagram, you know, all that type of stuff. And so I was frustrated with what I was in because it wasn't what I was seeing.
Correct.
But lo and behold, what I was seeing was smoke and mirrors the whole time. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you fast forward to now, it's smoke and mirrors. Like I said, the man now got 4 or 5 barbershops he's running. He know what he's doing.
Correct.
You know? My second shop was at a predominantly white shop. One thing that we didn't do in barber school was slang them shears. You know, people would come in with straight hair, bro. We hitting that back door out the back door because we don't want to slang those shears. All we doing do is flick fades all day. You know what I'm saying? And so probably 3-4 years into the barber industry, I'm like, what? No, it wasn't 3-4 years. Probably 2 years into the barber industry, I'm like, bro, I messed up not letting Miss Sheila teach me how to use shears. Well, here comes God. Bow. There was a local barbershop that reached out to me. They had been watching my growth. They were expanding. They had a chair that was opening up. They hit me like, yo, we would love to have you a part. I'm like, I can't cut with shears. He was like, that's what I wanted to hear. I'm going to teach you. Shout out to Chauncey Templeton. He's the person that taught me how to slang shears. He's goated with those things, you know? And that second stop was really when I learned that we were behind on the barber business of things. We don't have products in our, well, at this particular point, a majority of your barbershops wasn't having products in their shop. You know, they were sending folks around the corner to the Koreans or up the road to Sally's or something like that. They didn't have a one-stop shop. But when I went to that shop, bro, it was like your average ticket could be $150, $60 because you're getting a $30, $40 haircut, but then you walking out with shampoo, conditioner, styling product. You're going to get something for your son. You're going to get something. They may have something your girl been looking for. So you walking out with a clean haircut and 5-6 products.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't see that. You didn't see that going on in our culture of barbershops. And so that's when the real spark kicked in. And that's where I realized God had gifted me with a vision of a solution to point out things, you know? I had hooked up with Hunt the Barber at that time here in Tennessee. Hunt's goated, you know, Tennessee legend, you know, Anderson ambassador, whole 9 yards. The boy is cold with them clippers, you know. I hooked up with him, and that's when I seen. That was when I got my first taste of our culture of barbering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was totally different than my first 2 stops.
Correct.
But again, it was a vital necessity that I needed to see, because that's where I learned the grind of barbering. You know, the 10, 12-hour days behind the chair. You know what I mean? The 30, 40, 60 heads in the chair turning. You know what I'm saying? The 3-4 hour wait time for walk-in weights. You know what I'm saying? That's where I learned the grind of barbering. So every stop that I had was vital.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Coming off of that, I moved home. I went to a shop for 2 months with a guy that I had grew up with, went to barber school with. I didn't like some things that I seen going on in this shop. And I said, man, I've invested too much time to subject myself to what's going on here. It's time for me to go on my own. Had no idea that's what God had in store for me, you know? I have folks ask me all the time, man, like, bro, why are you still there? I said, because this is where the assignment has me, you know? This is where my assignment has me. My assignment doesn't have me packing up and leaving just because I don't like it here. Even though it's my home, and I shouldn't say just because I don't like it here, just because I'm not thriving like I know I could in other markets. You understand what I'm saying? My assignment is right here. So therefore, I'm going to stay on the assignment because I know what can happen if I veer away from the assignment. Because I was veering away from the assignment for so long during that middle phase of life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's kind of like a quick rundown of when I started barbering to now. Shout out to my little brother CJ. Shout out to my friend Jessica Wright. If it wasn't for them two, Garcia, I never probably would have finished barber school, because I went to barber school 45 minutes away from where I live. I live in Cookeville, Tennessee. I went to barber school in Lebanon, Tennessee, and I was going to barber school in 2008, 2009 when the recession was kicking our butts and gas was $5 a gallon, you know? So I'm having to drive 45 minutes one way, you know, to barber school. It's costing me $40 a day to go to barber school.
Right.
And
You're right.
I'm not making no money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was, man, it took me 5 years from the time I started barber school to the time I finished. You know, because I had to take a break. Shout out to my main man, Jacob Crenshaw. Because without Jacob, I don't know that I would have finished barber school. Because there was a time to where I went, and listen, like I told you, I'm transparent Terrence at this point. Young folks, don't listen to what I'm about to say, but I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. There was times where I would call Jacob, like, Jacob, I don't have no gas money to get to school. I need these hours.
All right.
Say, boy, I'm going to clock you in, but don't you tell nobody.
Right.
We way past that time, so I can't get in trouble for it no more. You know what I'm saying? But Jacob would clock me in, you know, because it only had probably a couple hundred hours left to do, you know, maybe 200 hours at the end of my 1,500. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like he hindered me. He was helping me because he knew my situations and the time we was in, you know. I had already showed that I really wanted to do this because I'd already put in like 1,300 hours or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just literally on my last month, you know, and I'm like, Jacob, I need to get these hours, you know. Couldn't pass my barber test here. Shout out to TJ, Mr. State Board. He has a book. He's got a book to where he's took Pivot Pro and Milady's and whatever the other one was, and they crunched down all the common denominators into this book.
Oh wow, okay.
It's called The Blueprint. And the book's like 54 pages long. I took the test like 2 or 3 times and failed it. And I was about to give up. CJ was like, no, you're not. He said, no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, I can't pass this test. And again, because I didn't apply myself during school. I really didn't take time to do what school was designed to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so CJ was like, "Bro, you're gonna pass this test the next time you take it." And I bought TJ's book. I passed that test.
I
So
might have to get CJ book for cosmetology because I'm having a hard time with cosmetology right
listen, that's what I was about to say. Shameless plug, bro. If anybody ever watching this, y'all having trouble passing that test, bro, he sends this book out all over the nation. It's called The Blueprint. Hit him up on IG, Mr. State Board, Thomas James.
Oh, definitely would. I definitely would.
You understand what I'm saying?
My second try to pass the state board for the Cosmo.
Man, get the book, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Like I'm telling you, that book is goated. I'm gonna say that word a lot during this interview, goated, because one thing that I was blessed to do, Garcia, is get out here and build some relationships early on.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name drop because I don't feel that I have to at this particular point. But I built some amazing relationships my first 2 years in the barber industry, bro.
That's where I came. Because you know what's funny? Me and your am I coming clear? Because I know the last interview, everything.
Yeah, we good. I can hear you loud and clear, baby.
Good. This is the reason why I created the unity. Like I wanted to base unity and connection because I feel like your story, like hearing your story over in Tennessee or someone over in Wisconsin, Washington, whatever. I feel like we all went down the same route. We all had a turning point in our life that one point we was doing something else, but we came into the barbering world for whatever reason that brought us here, and we're enjoying it, and we want to connect on it, and we want to build on it, and we want to talk about it, and we want to share about it, and that was the reason why I created Talk Your Barbershop. So I can hear stories like yours that will influence me sometimes when I'm going through what I'm going through, and like, damn, this shit is hard. Like, you know, I really of my clientele, like what am I doing wrong? How do I step out a little bit more? Because when you're in the barbershop, it's the camaraderie is not always there half the time, depending on where barbershop you sitting at. And like you said, depending on why you had to travel to different barbershops, you found a barbershop that fits you and helps you grow. You didn't probably stay there probably as long. Well, you knew when it was time for you to do your next transition. Yeah, but you knew when it was the wrong barbershop, you knew when it was the right barbershop, and you know now it's time to me to do my thing so I can take all these experience and put it in one house, help somebody that was going through what I was going through. Hopefully they don't have to go through the same wrecking pains that I went through.
Yeah.
I don't want to take away from, you know, what this platform is really about, hearing you talk. But I want to talk about, like, you know, what was that if factor for you? Like, you know, seeing your mom being in that company, seeing what he was doing, then you picking up what you picked up from your friend, your cousin and stuff. What was that point where, you know, you saw all this and it was like it was there in your face, but you was like, okay, I'm here now, but am I really here? Like, what am I doing? What I need to do? What can help me push forward? You know, like that sometimes we all have that if factor. If
you don't know, it's crazy. My it factor didn't hit. Let me say this. You don't get real until you get healed. And my it factor come, and I mean this. My it factor didn't come until maybe it's been within the last 18 months.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because I was just going along to get along. You know what I'm saying? I knew God gifted me with multiple talents.
Right.
I'm a barber. I've been a radio DJ. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you, trust. I hear you.
There's a lot of stuff I've done, but I was just going along to get along. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I love that you said that.
It wasn't until I met a group of people that was not from Tennessee. They were not from Cookeville, Tennessee. They moved. They moved here, and they showed me what kingdom living was like.
Yeah.
And they they let me know what grace and mercy really was.
Yeah.
And they let me know what being able to operate in your gifts and your talents and being able to operate in your purpose meant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More importantly, they were holding me accountable for what I wasn't doing.
Yeah.
Because they seen it in me. They seen it on me. You know?
Yeah.
And they kept pouring and kept pouring and kept pouring and kept pouring. So to that, I owe thanks to the Riviera family, the James family, my man Connor Coleman. Those are individuals that I will carry dear to me for forever.
Yeah.
Because, as I said earlier, man, the land has memory, and where I'm from, I'm in the South, bro. You know, we in the South.
Yeah.
And land here has memory.
Yeah.
And
that's power. I love that you said.
The memory that this land has where I am particularly, it doesn't give me a real pat on the back.
Right. Yeah.
It don't give me a real kick in the butt.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in tune and you on assignment, you don't have to have that because you know where, you know what I mean? You align.
Yeah.
You align with your purpose and your gift. So you don't have to have that. All you gotta have is open communication with the source. And everything else gonna fall in line. Now that's not to say things are gonna be perfect.
Nope. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But everything gonna fall in line. He gonna drop when, where, how, just where he's supposed to drop it.
Yeah.
And so my it factor didn't come, again, like I said, until the last 18 months, bro. You know? And I'm out here looking at these barbers, man. They cutting these celebrities and they going on all these trips. And I'm like, where my turn? Where my turn? It ain't never gonna be my turn because that's not who I am.
Right.
My people are the people like you just said. The people that are like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the borderline of giving up.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, that ain't what you're supposed to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to buckle down, strap your seat back on, and ride this thing on out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I realized real quick, my celebrities was my community. Those are my celebrities. You understand what I'm saying? And this is no knock for people that have celebrities and cut celebrities. This is no knock to them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm 39 years old, and I can remember very few celebrities been a celebrity for 39 years. Right. I'm just gonna keep it a bean with you. Right. You understand what I'm saying? My celebrity is my community. Yeah. You know? And one thing that I had to realize was, another thing the Holy Spirit told me a couple weeks ago was, you keep operating these enclosed environments that I have you in, there's no way you're gonna be able to operate in the world that I got for you. You understand what I'm saying? And so again, my mindset and my it factor started changing when those people came into my life. Yeah. You know, those people that I just named a while ago, that's when things started changing for me, man. And it wasn't like an it factor, it was like, boy, you better do this now. Right. You better do this now. I'm on probably like chance number in up 10,000 with you know? And I'm tired of you because you're stewarding what I'm trying to do for you. You understand what I'm saying? So
hey, you preach, man. I needed this. This morning, man. You preach it.
I'm sharing my experience.
Bitch, you don't want to walk in the house of the church today. I'm gonna bring somebody that's preach today.
Man, I'm just sharing my experience, man. Cause like I told you, you know, my stories gets deeper than that, bro. Like I told you, my barbershop sit right across from a hospital that I about died in at 15, homie. Yeah. Because I was chasing something other than the assignment. Yeah. And it about cost me my life. I got a war wound for the rest of my life on my left leg. Yeah. where they had to take 2.5 inches of muscle out of my thigh to send to Johns Hopkins for a muscle biopsy because they didn't know what happened to me. I've been an athlete my whole life, you know. At 15, my body starts to shut down. My kidney and my liver start to shut down, and it sent me into cardiac arrest because I had just had to come back from a boot camp from some sergeants that had just came back from 9/11, and they had to come see 20-something troubled kids before they went and seen their wife and kids. And bro, they about killed me, literally.
Yeah.
And so I had to sit in a hospital for 19 days. Man, it got to the point where they was coming drawing blood out of my, when I was in my sleep. I wouldn't budge, and they sticking needles in my arm to draw blood to figure out what's going on in my body in my sleep. And you fast forward 20 years, my business that's called Cultured Image, where the word cultured means refined by good taste, good manner, and good education. My business is right across from this place where I about died.
I love it. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, and all because I'm veering from the assignment. You know? So like I said a while ago, when people ask me, man, they tell me, man, you got to get out of Cookville. You got to get out of there. Why are you there? That's why I'm here, because I know my assignment is still here. I will not leave this place until I know my assignment is over. You understand what I'm saying? And one reason why I know I'm still on the assignment is because when I came back home, he made this thing happen like that.
Yeah.
Like that, he made it happen.
Yeah.
I've done nothing to keep these doors open.
Mm-hmm.
If these doors were swinging based on what I did, oh, bro, they'd be coming in shut. The electric would be off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ain't nobody getting in here. That's how I know God's hand has been on what I got going on, you know? And that's how I know when I made that conscious decision to quit chasing celebrities and to quit chasing this and to quit chasing that and to quit chasing this in this barber game, things changed for me instantly. Yeah. You know, people ask me all the time, why you still rock with dude in the brand you still rock? Because I love being a barber, because being a barber represents everything that I've had to be, everything I've had to go through. Mm-hmm. And being a barber is where I found purpose in my life. Mm-hmm. I'll never stray from that man. I may not, you know, things may not be going how we like all the time. Mm-hmm. But my loyalty to him, because it's allowed me to meet people like you. It's allowed me to meet people like OG Walker. It's allowed me to meet people like Jay Dillard and Barbers Inc. TV. It's allowed me to meet some goats, bro. I wouldn't have been able to do that on my own. That's why I love being a barber. That's why I stand by that man. Yeah. That's why I stand by that brand. You know? Yeah. And it's just, you know, I thank God that everything along this journey happened how it happened. Now, back when I was in the thick of it, I'm like, oh man, how I'm gonna come out of this, bro? I'm so ready for this to be over. Yeah. But now I look back and I'm like, boy, this journey been lovely. Yeah. You know, I can smile at this journey. Yeah. Because I know it's not over. Yep. I know I haven't started even to ascend into the journey yet. I'm not started to ascend yet. Right. I'm just like that plane when you boarding and they come on and they telling you to put your thing on, and that woman's in the middle showing what could happen if the plane goes astray. You know, that's where we at right now. We ain't even started to take off and hit the runway yet. you speaking the truth, man. I, that's funny that you use that, Alan, because I was just thinking that the other day, like, as far as like just everything that you're preaching right now, I'm in that same way. And to hear you speak on it and hear you share your journey and just the volume and how you express it, it's like knowing that, yeah, I definitely feel that same way. I feel joy. Man, it's going to get shaky. I'm going to show you something, Garcia. Okay. I'm going to take because I want people that watch this to understand this. Now, don't pay me no mind to my shop, but I'm gonna take you outside like this. I'm standing in the middle of my shop right now, right? Mm-hmm. I'm about to hit my screen and turn it around. Tell me what you see. That's the hospital I about died in, bro. Wow. That's the hospital. I look at this every day.
Wow.
I'm reminded by this every day. I get to come in this park, pull in this parking lot, unlock my door every day. When I think about giving up, man, I go outside and simply stand on that wall and look at that building right there.
That the energy that you are placing on yourself to get up every day, walk into that door, look at that view, and see the channel of both, what could have been and where it is now.
Yeah.
That that's crazy. That's truly amazing.
Man, I'm a high school dropout. My mama put me out when I was 16 due to some dumb stuff that I was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I'm ready to give up, bro, I go outside and I just stand on my wall, bro.
Yeah.
I stand on my wall, you know, and I never forget, you know. My biggest hero, and let me tell you, my biggest hero is my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother has 7 kids.
Yeah.
She's buried 4. She wakes up every day with a smile on her face. And if you were to see her, you would never know it. If that woman can wake up every day and fight, I can wake up every day and fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what keeps me going at the end of the day, you know? Is knowing the fight that I've had to witness her fight. We talking about Barbara.
All right. You know, it's funny
We
because
talking about Barbara.
I used to always end my conversation with my guests about law of attraction. And I feel like, you know, some people look at it as, well, for you, what I'm hearing from you is your law of attraction is your everyday fight, your everyday getting to it, never second guessing yourself. When there may be times that you feel that the world or whatever, the pressure is on your back, you still have that time to analyze it and still put a smile on your face and keep moving forward. And that's what I look at when I think about law of attraction. It's everything that you want as far as positive energy. And what
Yeah.
you were sharing is positive thought, positive motivation, positive love, positive positivity, and just understanding what could have been. But I'm here, and I'm changing that. I'm gonna change it every day. I
Every
could
day.
have been here. I could have been in the grave. I could have had this turn that could have went so way worse. But I'm still having that upstairs person speaking to me, still challenging me, and still pushing me forward. And that's what this program is about. This is what these conversations are about. Is that yeah, it's more than just picking up clippers. It these clippers can change your life.
They will change your life.
Yeah.
They will change your
but
life.
it's but what are you trying to do with these clippers?
Man, ooh. I want to be able to get back to the point to where every time I put them clippers on somebody's head, that they turn around and they look in that mirror and they have that confidence of 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got the confidence that David had when he slayed Goliath. You understand what I'm saying? They got the confidence of, you know, the greatest fighter that ever existed. You know, whether you fighting a Mike Tyson fight or you fighting a Michael Jordan fight. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I want those clippers to make shoulders go to this.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there's been times to where it's like I just really didn't care
Mm-hmm.
about what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I had to stop and ask myself, what would you be doing if you wasn't doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Would you still be able to say you loved what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
No. Even at my worst point of barbering in this last 8 years, I can still say I love being a barber. And I don't work.
Right.
Man,
Right.
that's rich.
Right.
That is rich. I'm rich. I'm rich beyond my years with being able to say that. And I think a lot of times us as barbers, we get caught up. We get caught up in the hype, in the jazz, and the glitz and the glam.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because there's no context to the content that's being pumped and published. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of barbers, they chasing that endorsement. They chasing that sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? Man, I want you to go. I wish I could do a poll, Garcia, from whoever's over whatever department signs endorsements and education. I wish I could get into the head of the person that signs it. I want to see what their day-to-day life is like. I want to see if they smile every morning when they get up in the mirror. Because you know why I ask that? Because they hold so much power over so many barbers.
Yeah.
Because so many barbers is like, oh man, I'm doing everything I can do to get signed and get endorsed. Who cares? Who cares? Man, go ask the person that you seeing 2-3 times a month what they think about you. I guarantee you it'll take your shoulders from this to this.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to conquer the world with some of the stuff people tell you that come in your chair every day.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you trying to get on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else and impress a barber all the way across the country.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
For what? Once I got a saying that I say all the time. And this is my saying. You ain't heard nobody else say this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Individually, we represent our own brand. You represent Talk Your Barber shit. I represent Cultured Image, clothing, Cultured Image, the brand. But do you know what we represent collectively?
Mm-hmm.
We represent this barber industry collectively.
Yeah.
So when we can get on here and have these type of conversations, you know, not about who got the crispest line or the sharpest beard or the blurriest fade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What did you do in the dumps, bro?
Yes.
Who helped you in the dumps?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the conversation that's gonna be able to really get out here and change life. I love Bones to go so much. Bones is that's my bro for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll send when we get off here, I'm gonna send you some pictures. Bones was the first person, Garcia, that I ever seen that I was like, I could be able, like, after I met him, I was able to go, I was like, whoa, you know who he was with? You know who I met him with? He was with Oster when I met him. He had came to Murfreesboro with Oster.
Wow. That's crazy.
Walked into my barbershop. I still got the picture. I seen him some years later. I'm like, bro, remember? I was like, yeah. Does he remember me or not? I don't know. But you know what? Now when I see him and Ryder, bro, it's all love. Them is my dogs, bro. Yeah. Because this guy he been through some stuff in this industry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he knows what this stuff can do to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
can hear
that's how powerful this industry is.
Yeah.
You know, and we leave it up to other folks to control our self-confidence behind the chair.
Right.
Because we don't get no like on the picture, or we don't get no share,
right.
You know, we don't get no cosign. Come on, man. Come on. We changing lives every day. We change lives 30 times a day.
We do.
We change people's lives 30 times a day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. For all type of aspects of life, from marriage to just going out, just everything, whatever you could think of, whatever they need, a barber is there for them.
Facts. Facts.
Get some of that bullshit they was dealing with at work, deal with that bullshit they dealing with at home. They just want to get there, feel good, look good, and have that therapy that I'm in this barbershop, I can let loose of whatever I'm dealing with.
You said the key word is therapeutic. Yep. Shout out to my man DJ Cutter. It's medicine if you take it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, for real. Like, that's the power we hold, you know? And I hope we get back to a point collectively to where we can really understand that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't hear enough. I don't hear enough of these conversations taking place at the barber shows and the forums and stuff like that. I don't hear enough of those conversations about getting barbers back on. If there's not one uniform road, there's not one track road that every barber in America should be able to get on. It's the fact that we all carry the power to change somebody's life that steps into our barbershop, bro.
Yes.
That's one thing we all unanimously have in common.
And that's
I
what
don't
the
care if you got the blurriest fade or the ugliest fade.
and that's what the house was about. It was like it was our church. Honestly, the barber house was our church to come together, speak about what we want to do as far as changing our community, helping our community grow, helping the young ones grow to be who they need to be, shaping them up, getting them right to head out into
Yep.
that world and they need to be. And that's what the barber world was about. But now
Yep.
we like you go on the glitz and glamour. I want to buy the finest car. I want to have the finest girl. I want to travel all these crazy places. And, I get it. I understand it. You want to make money. You want to do great things with your money and stuff like that. And I understand that part, but let's go back to the basics. Let's
Get
don't
back to the
fully
basics.
lose the basics, you know? And I
Let's get
feel
back to the basics.
like you spoke about it too, like sports, what happened to the fundamentals? Everybody want to dribble. Everybody want to show that they got all these crossover moves. They want to be 20 minutes with the crossover moves and 30 minutes with the crossover moves, and I want to show the fadeaway. But what happened to the 1-2 step? Get to it, pump, shoot.
Hey, man, my pops was my best friend.
Yeah.
His dad is who I call my pops.
Yeah.
He was our coach. He was our coach early on. He used to say, "Boy, you made $1 million move, but gave me a $2 shot." Got $1 million move, but gave me a $2 shot. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on in the barber industry. I think is we making $1 million moves, but when it comes time to shoot a shot, we taking $2 shots, bro.
Let me
You
ask you about this, and I don't want to like fully make this about that type of conversation, but I'm seeing a lot now with social media, like we was talking about earlier, where they're saying that we're overdoing our service for a clientele, and then we're charging these over saturated products and services and stuff like that. Now you have you have our customers and you have a lot of content that now is being developed where people are putting up signs and saying, I want to go back where barbers was charging less.
$20 for a haircut. Hey,
But it's like
man.
it's funny because it's like you have customers that come in and see all the stuff they see on social media and all the spray and the detail with the beard and the ash look and all this other stuff. And they want that type of service. But then in the next breath you see like okay, you want it, I want this, I want what I'm showing. I'm bringing my phone and I'm open up to all these spectacular type haircuts, but I don't want you to charge me over $20.
Man, that's a topic and a subject that I understand, I get, and it's just one of those things to where you have to really evaluate yourself, and ask yourself, what is it that you desire?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Do you desire to be that barber that wants to overcharge people?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just gonna keep it being with you, man. I'm about to ruffle some feathers when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to ruffle some feathers when I say this. I don't think there's no such thing as $100 haircut. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't think there's no such thing as $100 haircut, man. I don't care. I don't care if Michael Jordan himself walked into my barbershop. I don't think there's no such thing as $100 haircut. Now, I do think you deserve to be paid for your service.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And I do understand inflation. I do understand, it's different prices in different markets. There's no way you should be paying me in Tennessee the same price that somebody's paying in San Francisco. No.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't think that there's no such thing as, $100 haircut. I think if you paying if you making somebody pay you $100 for a haircut on the regular, there's some things in your life that you really need to evaluate.
Right.
Because there's a standard of a lifestyle that you live in. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of wants in your lifestyle that you live in. And that's what you're trying to keep up.
Correct.
That's what you're trying to keep up. And that's cool. And that goes into another conversation that's been going on that I've been seeing a lot this week is if you are this type of barber, you don't need no side hustle. If you having to charge somebody $100 for a haircut to keep up with the lifestyle you trying to live, you need a side hustle.
I was just about to bring that up.
You need a side hustle. Because we're not in the industry of manipulating people, bro. We're in a service-based industry. I get where they come from with that. And again, I'm not knocking nobody that charges $100 a haircut, bro. I'm not knocking. You understand what I'm saying? Again, if you in New York, you in Miami, you in LA, you in these places, I get charging for what your worth is.
Let me ask you this, if you mind sharing. So for a haircut and a beard, how much do you charge?
$35.
Okay.
$35. And I'm having a hard time trying to make myself go up. I'm having a hard time doing it, bro. And I got to understand where I'm at. I'm in a working class environment. Everybody that I'm dealing with works 9 to 5 just like I do. Majority of the people that live here are paycheck to paycheck. Majority of the people that I see are paycheck to paycheck. Now, there's some places up the road, down the roads, across the street. Now, they got an upper echelon, more of an upper echelon of clientele to where somebody may be able to come in and take an hour lunch and say, hey, I'm getting a haircut. I'll be back to the office in an hour and 15 minutes.
Correct.
But majority of my people get 30-minute lunches. Majority of my people get 30-minute lunches, bro. They working 9 to 5. I got a hard time going and sitting down and telling them I'm about to charge you $50 for a haircut, homie. I got a hard time doing it. You know? God gifted me with some gifts and some talents. I just got to go figure out how to work harder. You know? So I got to go figure out how to work harder. The Bible tells us in Matthew when he talks about the parable of talents. He gave one man one, he gave a couple 5, and gave a couple, you know what I'm saying? And a couple of them flipped him. He didn't give that man one and say go charge $100. Get out of here, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I'm gonna stand on my 10 on that.
No, yeah, you got to. And then for those that, you know, we in the industry, like, okay, this is the clientele that you want. But if you can up your clientele to this demographic that likes to pay that a little extra.
Okay. Salute to you. Salute to you. Go figure out how to attract them. Don't make everybody that wants to come sit in your chair, make you, oh, bro, if you can't give me $100, you can't sit in my chair. Come on, homie.
Correct.
We in a service-based industry, bro.
Correct.
You dealing with somebody 9 times out of 10, you dealing with somebody that's got a boss. At any given time, they can lose that job and they can't afford to pay you $100 no more. Then what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Somebody that you, there's 52 weeks in a year. You got somebody that's giving you $100 25 times out of the year. They've been doing this for 5 years. They lose their job and they can no longer give you $100. You can tell that man that just paid all your bills, that bought you that Tesla, that bought you that chain, that you can no longer cut their hair? Right. Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Right.
Man, if I could tell you, I give away probably 5 haircuts, 6, 7 haircuts a week, bro. I get them away. You know, because I have to remember there was a time where I didn't have it easy, but somebody had me. Correct. Memory for somebody's had me because I always know he had me. Right. But somebody else was helping me too. Yeah. So there's no way I'm gonna turn away somebody just because I done got high on the hog. But we got barbers that's promoting that. Right. What What are we doing? What are we doing? And then you got barbers that we out here putting on a platform and pedestal that's come to let me start my car. You big dummy, you bought my car. Come on, man. What are we doing?
Rephrase that again. It froze up. So restate that last statement again.
We got people that are promoting these shows out here, you know, and I ain't saying no names. Ain't saying no names. But I see it. There's these show producers.
Yeah.
Won't be show producers. They riding around in, $100,000, $200,000 cars.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Then they want to make fun of people that bought their tickets to their shows. I'm giving y'all the same thing I've been giving y'all for X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. What are we doing? You know? Yeah. Barbers were influences in communities. And they were pioneers in communities. You know? Barbers back in the early days fed families that couldn't feed themselves. They clothed kids that couldn't clothe themselves.
Correct.
They educated people that was miseducated and misled.
Correct.
And now we're steering a misleading industry.
Correct.
And we want you to pay me to continue to mislead y'all.
Correct.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Correct.
That's what cultured image means, bro. Again, anybody that watch this, I want y'all to Google the word culture. It's characterized by refine. That word refine. Re means you got to do something over again. You got to relearn something. You can't do this. You can't do that the same way you did this. That's what redefine means. Characterized by refined taste, good manner. Good manner. I don't care what everybody else is doing. What are you doing?
Correct.
Good manner and good education, bro. That's what cultured image stands. That's what culture means, bro. And that word image behind it.
Let's go into your shop and stuff like that. Like, let's now having two shops. You have two shops, right?
No, I just got one. I just got one.
One shop. Okay. What is it as far as your culture that you speak about and the people that line up within your shop? Like you said, we all look at ourselves independently, but then we want to work under a great leadership, a great environment, a great shop, but then we want to come in there and make it our own. We want to come and work our own hours. We want to come in there and deal with our own clientele. We want to come in there and be who we want to be in someone else's household. But we all want to come under this household and be under someone that can keep that household running, like God, like you said. We want somebody to lead us in, show us the way, but then we want to complain about all the steps that we got to go through to keep it running. How is it for you being an owner and dealing with this? How do you find your culture, your people, the right people to fit under your house?
Oh man, that's a great question, Garcia. Because it's been trial and error. It's been trial and error, and I fell victim to the wave more times than I would like to admit. But I will say that there's been times that I've been a horrible business owner. Like I said earlier, there's no way my door should still be open by what I've done. Because I've displayed some horrible ownership practices. This, and look again, transparent Terrence right here, okay? This last week, I made myself stay at my barbershop as much as I possibly could. You understand what I'm saying? That's taking walk-ins, sitting here chopping it up with my barbers when I would normally probably duck off or whatever. Okay. I made myself stay here this week. And I was able to see the resemblance of, I was able to see the reward of doing that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about creating a culture, and attracting that demographic. Again, being born and raised from where I'm at right now,
Yeah.
one thing that I always made sure that I did was created a. I always wanted to make sure that I created an open, comfortable space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's been times to where I got caught up into my own, what I would like to see if I walked into a business,
Mm-hmm.
which is not suiting for a majority of other people walking into my business.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, what they were subjected to hearing, it wasn't a lie. It was just truth that they had never been exposed to. You understand what I'm saying? And so my stance on that is what I'll decide to play in my business or what I want to put on in my business. If it offends you, it's just because you can't handle the truth. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Again, I'm a black business owner in a predominantly white area. Okay, let's get that out there. So, me being me, I feel I have the platform to educate my people when they come in here. Because one thing that I know, when they go back out there, they're not even going to be educated on what they're being educated on when they come into my business. They don't know what Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu. They don't know what Dr. Boyce Watkins. They don't know who Dr. Claude Anderson is. They don't know who these people are. They don't know what Anthony O'Neill. They don't know who these people are that are educating people that look like me and you. Okay? So when they come into my establishment and they're subjected to hear our Dr. Boyce Watkins get radical for a minute because he done went off on a tangent and went off of a financial conversation and he talks about the history of the past of this country, they get offended.
Correct.
I don't care. I don't care because he's talking truth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's talking truth. And if you can't handle the truth about things that are blatantly obvious, then that's not my problem. That's a you problem.
Okay.
That's a you problem, you know? And that's just the way that I feel. But also in saying that, I've also had to take a step back and put myself in the mind of my other barbers and the people that they put in their share. Because as you just said, we can create our own culture if we want, but we still have to worry about the people that's riding the wave with us. And so I've kind of had to check myself on that, even when I didn't want to.
Correct.
Because it's like, the way I look at it is, if I'm not using my platform to educate my people, I don't feel like I'm doing the due diligence. You understand what I'm saying? But also, I also have to be mindful of people that's coming into my shop and that's helping me pay my bills.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it's one of those things to where it's a check and a balance. I got to check myself sometimes, and I got to balance myself out. Correct. And sometimes I lose the check. Sometimes the check ain't a Nike check. You understand what I'm saying? Right. It's one of those upside down checks where it's wah, 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 wah. You know? And my guys got to check me on it. Yo, T, bro, you was out of line playing that right then because you knew who I had in the chair. You understand what I'm saying? So I've given them the free reign to where, like, bro, if I'm in my mode, just come grab the remote and change it or turn it off. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm glad that
because I have to also understand that I've got the leadership skills to be able to create another space inside the space that I already have to where there's a place and a time for that conversation. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? I do. So that's just came with growth, man. That's come with growth. I'll tell you, I lost about 60% of my clientele about 2 years ago. Right. Because of it. Yeah. I did. Lost about 60% of my clientele, man. And I'm, again, like I said, I'm just now on that point to where I'm starting to ascend because, again, like I said, it was just about 18 months ago to where that it factor clicked in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, then everything's, that's what I should have been doing instead of doing this. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Or that's what I could have put together instead of putting it out in the open, you know? So, you know, it's checks and balances. You live and you learn, you know what I mean? I'm just really glad to say.
I'm truly glad that you spoke on that, and you summed it up definitely in a great way. That sometimes individually, in a barbershop, we have our own viewing of things, and especially like someone that comes into our chair, maybe the person that's next to us maybe has a channel that's playing or music playing or the verbiage that's being used among everybody in the, but you don't know how that particular person is feeling in that chair. It's something that you might say might be triggering to that person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always it's always good to be aware of the dialogue or what's being shared or what's going on. Like, you know, when kids are in the shop or elderly people are in the shop, you know, we don't have to cuss all the time. We don't have to say our special word that we like to use amongst our people all the time, especially when it's the others that's in our shop all the time. And it's not like we're making ourselves look lesser or demeaning ourselves like we're not a man anymore because we when they come around we feel like we got to be less of her. No, like you said, I'm running a business, and at the end of the day, I want to be respected as an owner and business person.
That's it.
That's
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And again, like I said, I've had to check
yeah,
myself on that, man. You know, um, just learning there's a time and a place. You know, there's a time and a place for everything. You know, and sometimes even when you want to do what you want to do in your space that you have the free will to do it
right,
in, it's not the time to do it.
right,
You know what I mean? So again, like I said, just having the checks and balances, man, and having people that really hold me accountable and not just that. I don't have no yes man. You know what I'm saying? Like I've got. I just lost a barber. He just went and opened his own shop about 20 minutes. It's a whole nother county, but about 20 minutes up the road. So now I've got it's just two barbers in here with me now. And these two barbers will check me, man. You know, they'll check me. You know what I'm saying? Bree's not scared to check me, and David's not. Shout out to David. David's been on the live. They're not scared to check me, bro. And I love them for that.
yeah,
Because there comes a time to where I need to be checked too.
yeah, yeah,
You know? I need to be checked too. And I'll let them know, man, y'all got open reign to check me. You know what I'm saying? Check me because I need to be checked. Checkmate. You know what I mean? So I'm not upset at it at all. And again, it's just a learning curve, man. You know, there's no right and wrong playbook to this.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of open experience that I think we fail to listen to
yeah,
from those that have come
yeah,
before us.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, definitely.
uh, and in large part could be what we see now going on
You know,
social media and on these content pages.
you know what's funny? In a way, it's like, was it ever really a blueprint written on barber? Like being a barber owner, being a barber, it was it, you learned as you went along. You like every step that
I got put on this book called, and I've been saying I was gonna buy it for the
yeah,
longest time. Have you ever heard The Night of the Razor?
I have not. And now I gotta go check it out now.
So there's a book called Night of the Razor that I got that I was put up on probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And I've been saying I was gonna get it, but just doing the synopsis of summary of the book, that would probably be about the closest blueprint. Now I'm not ready. I'm just again, like I said, just going based off what I've seen from a summary base of the book.
hmm,
That would probably be about the closest blueprint that I would say that would match our culture of
yeah,
barbershop because it talks about the first couple black millionaire barbers way
yeah,
back in the
yeah,
day
yeah,
and what they built their
yeah.
success on. You know, that would probably be about the closest thing to a blueprint I would say that we
You
need to be following.
know, I never knew that until I got into barbering that it was a black man that owned a barbershop and he was a millionaire.
The Night of the Razor
Yeah,
talks about it, bro. You
yeah,
know, and again, I've not read the book. I've done a lot of I've read a lot of reviews of people that have read the book. So therefore, that's where I kind of put together the synopsis of it. But yeah, man, like that probably be the closest thing to a blueprint. You know, I think the blueprint of the barbershop the blueprint of the barbershop depends on the community that you represent. You need to be able to go out and do your homework and your due diligence of your community,
yeah.
and then that's what's going to give you your blueprint.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to give you your blueprint. Where my barbershop is located, I'm in a lower end part of the community. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, I don't need to be, like I said a while ago, I don't need to be charging $40, $50, $60 for no haircut. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with people that can afford $15, $20, $25, $30 for a haircut. So that's what I'm gonna give them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got. I'm glad that you said that because you got to understand your surroundings. Like people get out of barber school and they go to a shop, depending on where it is. Sometimes if you go to a high caliber location, and the owner himself and the person that you're working on say, "Hey, outright, you should be charging 60 or 65." But if you go into another area that's close to your environment and you know everything around there is a low style of caliber of like the stores is discount this, discount that, and then you trying to go in there and you trying to up the prices to $65, $75, and you know in that demographic area,
Yeah.
no afford that. Why are you charging that?
Yeah. And let me clear something off about what we talked about going back to earlier. I've never lived in a place to where I would require $100 haircut. So that's why I say I have a hard time grasping the fact that somebody paying me $100 for a haircut. If I was on Rodeo
Right?
Drive, I would probably have to charge somebody $100 for a haircut.
Yeah.
I'm in Cookville, Tennessee, y'all. That's where I'm at. I'm in the country. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I got a hard time understanding $100 for a haircut. I'm sorry. You know, I've never been to California. I don't know what it's like. When I seen you in Vegas, Darcy, that was my first time in Vegas. If I was having to pay $5 for a bottle of water every day, hey, we gonna be paying more than $35 for a haircut.
Hell
Bet you
yeah.
about $1 that.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
For
funny.
real.
When I first started out, and I was working at one of my locations up in Inglewood. It's called Positive Trends. A customer walked in, and it was me and the guy that used to cut my hair when I was a kid. We was talking. We was already talking about like price ranging and stuff, and we were just having our dialogue. And then we had some customers come in. I was cutting here. He was cutting here. And then another person walked in, and he was like, "So how much you guys charge for a haircut?" And he was like, roughly I do 55, depending on what you want. And he was like, "Oh, okay. What you do for does that include the beard?" He was like, "Well, no. If you want the beard, it's gonna be $10 more." He was like, "Oh man, y'all expensive. Who y'all think y'all are? Louis Vuitton?"
Louis Vuitton.
So it's
That's funny.
like I get on the aspect of what he probably was looking for, what he was used to,
Mm-hmm.
and probably looking at the area and the surrounding, probably that was too much for him.
Mm-hmm.
But to walk in someone's household and just be like, "Oh, you doing too much," just be like, "Hey, I get it. I can't afford that right now. I'm
It's
gonna go."
outside my,
But
it's outside my price range. Thank
in
you.
our
Have a good day.
industry, we always dealing with the battle of like, why do we feel like we have to? If you're doing it the right way and the foundation of it is correct, I feel like someone on the outside telling you what you should charge, how you should run your business is what I dislike about the
Facts.
barber industry.
Yeah, yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
That's where
And that's why I wanted to clear that up. That's why I just said I wanted to clear that up. You
yeah.
know, I've
I
never
feel
been
like that,
nowhere that would
that
require.
overall price range
Yeah,
overall is getting oversaturated because it depends on where you're going.
yeah,
Going
yeah,
to
yeah. No,
the community and you know that my community, this is what the price range should be, and somebody's charging that, yeah.
yeah,
I feel like you can have that heartfelt pain on your chest. Like, man,
no
I'm
doubt.
used to paying $30, but now this dude want to charge 60 and 75, and he
Yeah,
knows around in the area. But if you go into, like you said, Hollywood, Rodell Drive, or you going somewhere high end, and you going over there and you expecting a $20, $25 haircut, so okay, something's wrong with your mental.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your ideal realization is
Yeah.
off. Yeah, your ideal realization is off,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, man. But I still say all that to say this, man. I think as barbers, we are we are supposed to evolve our mental and our mental and our care for this industry just as the barber game itself evolves. You understand what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is I don't need to be doing the same things or thinking the same way at year 10 that I was thinking at year 5.
Correct.
You know, if all I'm worried about at year 10 is still chasing the bag like I was worried about at year 5, something's wrong.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get first 5 years, I just want to chase this bag, chase this bag, chase this bag. But again, man, we are influencers in our communities, bro. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this. As far as, I'm still new to this, and I feel like you speak and you say, you roughly are getting to that point where you feel like you're almost an OG in this game a little bit now. What is it as far as the expos? Because, I know what I'm going there for.
Uh-oh.
I know what I'm going there for. But for overall, you don't have to go truly in depth. You don't have to name no names and stuff like that. But what is it that you feel like is truly missing out of these?
I ain't gonna disrespect nobody when it comes to these barber expos,
Yeah.
bro, because like I told you earlier, I've tried it. I've played with show producers.
Yeah. And we definitely gonna talk about, because I know you sent me your flyer. Yeah.
That stuff is hard, bro. That stuff is hard to do. It's hard to construct, I salute folks like Jay Majors when it comes to the fact of what he's done with CT Barber
That's
Expo.
the one I haven't been to. Have you been to that one yet?
Yeah, man. Like, I salute him on what he's able to what he's been able to do.
Yeah.
As far as getting it to the level of unity that it is. And what I mean by that is being able to put 15,000 barbers under one roof, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Now, the thing that's outside of his control is what it is that those 15,000 barbers are desired to see when they get to his event.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? And I've had to check myself when it comes to some of this stuff because it's like, dang, man, it's the same thing over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
But that's what the people want to see. That's what they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they want to see when they come to these expos.
Correct.
But that also goes back into the fact of what I said a while ago. They not doing their homework and they due diligence in their communities.
Correct.
Because what they getting from them expos, what are they getting from the expos that they taking back to their communities that's changing the people in their community?
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
And that's what I go for.
Only thing that you going for is to tack more dollars on that ball fade.
Right.
You're not going to come back and say, man, I learned this, and about mental health. I learned this, about financial literacy. I learned this, about economic growth. I learned this, and this about that.
Correct.
Only thing you going to learn and figure out is how you can get $20 more on a haircut, homie. You going to the expo for the wrong reason, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to keep it a bean with you.
Let me go here and get that extra discount on these clippers.
Let me, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, again, meeting you in Vegas.
Yeah.
This what we doing.
Yes.
This what we doing. You understand what I'm saying? That was valuable because now we able to chop it up in dialogue and we able to make this content to where it's gonna make people's mind think like, oh, dang, I ain't even thought about that, or oh, dang, I've been going through that for the last such and such and such and such. Let me reach out to them and see what it was how you overcame that.
Correct.
You know?
Yes.
One thing that I think that we forget, Garcia, is that we touching the crowns of people's heads every day, bro.
Yes.
And that energy transfers.
It does.
We take that energy, we pick somebody else's energy and we take it home to our wives and our kids and our husbands and our mothers and our grandparents, all not even being able to channel and check our own.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So when it comes to these expos, I get them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get them.
Yeah.
I just wish, one thing that I wish that we would start doing at these expos is being able to utilize the day before. You know what I'm saying? If we're going in to Vegas for a Sunday, Monday expo, majority of people are checking in on Friday. Let's have some meat on Saturday.
Yes.
Let's have a full course meal on Saturday.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where we able to chop it up and talk about financial literacy.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
To where we able to top it up and talk about mental health. Let's take a John Hall, or let's,
because that's what I've been thinking. Like, why we can't have one day? Because I understand what they're doing. Sundays, barbers really don't work. You know, a lot of barbers don't go to the shop to work.
Yeah.
Mondays usually your off day. But I feel like if we were able to do that, let's have a one day full of educational courses, all day educational courses.
All day education.
Then have the raw expo where people can buy stuff, can go on stage and compete and all that stuff. But the educational part should be a full day.
2016, me and my brother started to put together what we were calling Barber Mayhem.
Yes.
It was going to be Memorial Day weekend, and my goal was to educate,
yes,
enhance, and empower barbers.
Yes.
I said to educate,
right,
enhance, and I'm not talking fibers and dye.
Right.
Educate, enhance, and empower barbers.
Correct.
That's what I wanted Barber Mayhem to be.
Yes.
Everything outside of having clippers in your
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
We had some pretty good people that was going to be on. The show ended up getting canceled.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
Well, you know, stuff happens. I needed it.
Yeah.
We bounced back. 2021. Me and my guy, one of the same partners that I was doing with in 18. We sat down at the table, was like, let's get this thing another run. And he had a portion that he wanted to do. I had my portion that I wanted to keep. So we was like, what's the easiest way to figure out how to get these two to a merging point?
Correct.
What's everybody want to see? Everybody wants to see the glitz and the glam in the battle. All right, let's grab them with this glitz and the glam in the battle the first year, okay? So we do that. We put together the show. Annual Barber Battle is what the show was called. Man, that educational roster I had on that was crazy. We had Gilly Fades out of Jacksonville. We had Grizz the Groomer out of Chicago. I had Jason Patridge and Stephen Putnam from Old World down in Georgia. My big brother OG came up from Florida. My big brother Bones the Goat came up from Florida. Bruh, I had the legendary Stephen Lightfoot, who hadn't touched the education stage in over a decade.
Yeah.
Come out.
That's crazy.
One of the best educational rosters. I'll put this up. I guarantee you what, if we could have a throwback award, I would win throwback award for educators of the year when we talk about shows, bro. Because there wasn't another show that year that had the education that I had on the roster. You understand what I'm saying? And we're gonna go back and talk about relationships for a minute. You know how I got every one of those guys to come out? From relationships that I had built with them. You understand what I'm saying? They came out and they supported because they knew this is something that I had a real passion and desire to do.
Correct.
Because I wasn't doing this for the glitz and the glam. I wasn't doing this to put no money in my pocket. I was doing this to educate, empower, and enhance the barbers in my area in Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We only got one other show. We only have one other show that is a continual show in this state. Shout out to the guys from MLB. They got the Tennessee Trade Show, MLB Trade Show.
Okay.
We missed 24. We'll be back June 25, MLB Trade Show, Tennessee State Fairgrounds. Make sure y'all there, June 25.
Okay.
But that's the only show that we had. And I'm like, bro, we got some talented barbers here.
Yeah.
But they got some things that we got to learn how to do. We got to learn how to move as a unity.
Yeah, 100%.
Got to learn how to create some camaraderie.
And that goes all over. It's not even just in your area.
No, in Tennessee, I know it's all over.
It's all
but what I wanted to do was to figure out how do we begin something?
Yeah.
How do we begin to show that we can do this? We ain't got to do this all the time. We ain't got to be doing this all the time.
Yeah.
We can do this right here, and we can move.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
Show was a success the first year. And it's very important on who you allow to come ride your wave and get on your train. Because a lot of times people are looking for a come up and a compromise.
Correct.
They're not looking for a collaboration.
Correct.
Y'all hear what I just said? A lot of times people are looking for a come up and a compromise. They're not looking for a collaboration.
Correct.
And that cost us. Our integrity of the show was compromised, which caused us to have to separate and part ways. Me and my partner both were going through a bad mental health phase at that time.
Yeah.
I actually, me and my youngest daughter's mother were together for almost 15 years. And she left me a month before the show.
Oh, wow.
And when I tell you it about took me out, it about took me out, man. You know, a lot of people didn't see the long nights.
Yeah.
Just up in the bed, bawling my eyes out because I felt like a failure.
Yeah.
Because I had the weight of the world on me. You know, I'm like, daggone, did I forfeit my family because I was so worried about this show? Or did I forfeit my gift because all I wanted to do was try to show her that I really was worth something and I had some value out here? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Monkey see, monkey do. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like
hard.
Dr. Jackal, Mr. Hyde.
It's hard, especially for us black men, and I'm just saying men in general.
Just
especially
man in general, bro.
Yeah. Especially when we have something our whole lives that we're groomed to be masculine, strong, caretaking man. We want to have something that is ours. We love our companion, we love our kids, but we want them to look at us and say, that man right there is somebody I end on. I know he got my back and he's making shit work. But sometimes the more that we put into what we're doing and going after and trying to grab a hold to, then other stuff starts slipping away. They feel like time is spent. You don't understand that, yeah, I'm a mother, I have a child, and I'm doing all this motherly stuff, but sometimes I need you to take care of your father duties and be here a little bit more and be here when I'm feeling like I'm overstressed. And then when you're going through whatever you're going through, we hold all that stuff. Because I don't want to overpour what I'm going through. I don't want her to know that I'm feeling this way. So we're mentally going through it in our own brain, dealing with the world, dealing with the barbershop, dealing with clientele, then kind of come home and deal with the masculinity of like, okay, I got to be the strong man. I can't show my woman I'm breaking down.
Facts.
Like how? And like you said, we don't talk about it because in our world,
bro, it about broke me.
In this barber,
it about broke me, bro.
Male driven, so you can't go to your boys at the barbershop and like, man, I'm going through it and share it. They don't want to see that.
nah, and that's you know we keep our mouths quiet on those things, man. And again, that about broke me, man. You know, that opened the door to an addiction that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I was trying to suppress something that I was going through, and I didn't have an outlet. There was no outlet to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody understood. Nobody could understand why I was so upset about this barber show. They were like, bro, it's just a barber show. Like, man, I gave everything I had to it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, not, I'll tell you this, like, the show in 18, there is a very, 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 very predominant individual in the barber game that talked to me like a dog, Garcia. Got in my inbox and talked to me like a dog. He had no idea I was less than 2 years into the barber industry, and I had already figured out a solution into my area and created an environment and a platform. No, it didn't succeed and fall through, but I was only 2 years in. You understand what I'm saying? And instead of coming to me and saying, hey, how can I help you? He talked to me like a dog, man. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You riding another man's wave. Da, 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 da. Bro, this guy's still operating in the industry to this day. So my fuel and my fire for annual barber battle when it was 2020 was to show him, like, bro, this is something that I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
So when I put my all into this, the first go round, I got to deal with him and his whole team and his whole gang. He got a big gang out here, bro. Then to come back, when I do succeed, my family fall apart. Oh, bro, man, like it took the wind. It knocked the wind out of me, man. You know, it knocked the wind out of me, bro. And I'm telling you, it opened the door for an addiction that I didn't know existed, bro. Yeah. I realized I was a functioning addict, just like my dad. The same man that I had spent my whole life running from, trying not to be like, bro, I had then realized I opened the door to be just like this man. One thing that I want all you young barbers and all you young people to realize is you got to be careful when you keep telling yourself, I don't want to be like this person. I don't want to be like this person. I don't want to be like this person. Because what ends up happening is you end up mastering the skills that person lacked. And then you turn out to be just like that person because you're never able to identify the things that were hurting you and the trauma that you were enduring because you kept covering up and covering up and covering up. I don't want to be like him. 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 You figure out how to master not being like them by doing the same exact things, but just doing it better. You know, and that's what I was enduring.
Yes.
And I didn't realize it until it was too late. You know?
Yeah.
And man, that hurt, man. I'm telling you, bro. That losing, getting annual barber battle compromised, and I'm like, damn, I done failed again. Again. Here I got a successful barbershop running, bro.
I was just about.
I got a whole business running. Yeah. I got a whole brand running. I done built a barbershop. I got Cultured Image Grooming. I got Cultured Image Clothing. I got stuff going, but I'm still feeling like a failure. I'm still feeling like a failure. I didn't want to go to no barber show I didn't want to go to no more shows, bro. I didn't because I didn't want to have to look at people. Damn, nigga, you done failed at another show? You know? Mindful of the fact and forgetting that I had OG, I had Bones, I had Jason, I had Steven, I had all these people on this platform. I still felt like a failure because I couldn't say I'm coming back with the second annual, and my education roster ain't better than it was last year. My attendance, my ticket sales ain't better than they are last year. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said you got to be careful on who you put on your train and who you let ride your wave, bro. Right. You know? Yeah. That jump about took me out. Yeah. You know? So when it comes to these expos and these shows, I'll just say, man, just make sure you paying attention. Right. Man. Correct. Just make sure you paying attention. You know? I just I get it. We have to have them. We have to have them in the industry. Yeah. But here's one thing I'm gonna ask these barbers. Have y'all ever seen Andis or Babylus or anybody else get behind just a mental health class?
You took the words out of my mouth, man.
ever seen them just get behind the day of mental health education where they ain't making no money behind the table? I haven't. I haven't.
Yeah.
If somebody can correct me while I'm wrong, correct me. I'll take that. But I ain't never seen it published. I ain't never seen it promoted. I ain't never seen it. Now, I do know Andis does rock with the Confess Project. If anybody don't know the Confess Project, I do know that there's a couple barbers that are endorsed by Andis that rock with the Confess Project. But I've never seen them push those type gatherings like they push these barber expos and barbershop. So, I mean, I think that we should challenge these companies sometimes. I think we should challenge these companies. We should be able to gather.
We should challenge these companies. We should try to challenge these educational boards, these schools, the people that are writing these books that are not putting the right information as far as, I want to understand sanitation. I want to understand perm and all that other stuff, but teach me how to really financially get my stable together. Teach me how to mentally understand that, this can wear and tear on my body. Mentally understand how I need to take time out and refresh my mental, because I'm always at the shop and I'm taking everybody else's energy in it, and I'm not my own.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Again, like I said, like you said earlier, it's time for us to get back to the basics of this stuff, bro. Yeah. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now. I wanted to figure out how to get back to the basics. I'm probably at one of the most happiest points I've ever been in my life right now, and I have nothing, but I've got my peace.
No, don't say you don't have nothing. You have something.
I've got my peace.
Yeah.
And that's more valuable than anything that I could ever have in my pocket. Yeah. I've got my peace, man. And it came at the expense of a lot of pain.
Yeah. It always does.
It really does. And I don't think that we don't talk about that enough, man. I just wish that barbers would pick up the phone and call and check on their peers more. Yeah. How you doing, brother? How the family doing? If you're blessed that still have your parents and your grandparents, how they doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was just having that conversation. Me and my mom talk a lot. And it's funny now, like she be cracking her jokes. She's like, I'm gonna have to hopefully pretty soon get you a receptionist or somebody to deliver these messages, because sometimes you answer when I call, sometimes you don't. I gotta wait for you to call me back, and I be feeling bad because I be like, I need to get over there some more. I need to go over there and see my peoples a little bit more. I do this on maybe Sundays and Mondays, and then I go to the shop, and then majority of the week I'm at the shop from maybe morning to the evening and stuff like that. And I'm like, I need to at least take a weekend and just go sit over there and just spend time with my family, because once it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone, man. You can't get it back.
Yeah,
you can't get it back. 2 years ago in December, I lost my biggest fan. My aunt passed unexpectedly. Yeah. In the hospital right across the street, boy. I'm right across the street. Like, I'm sitting right across the street cutting hair. So subjected into I'm so subjected into what I think I got going. Yeah. She was laying right across the street for a whole day and ended up dying that night. And I had no idea she was in the hospital. Yeah. My mom had called me. She was like, you need to get across the street. She's been there all day. She my number one fan. She was my number one fan, bro. Like, these blows came back to back to back to back to back to back to back. She was my number one fan, my number one support since I was a kid. Since I was a kid, my aunt was my number one fan. Every game she was at, you know what I'm saying? Whatever I was doing, she was supporting and she was there. Yeah. But when she needed me, I was so caught up. Right across the street. And it was gone just like that.
But you know, sometimes when we have our biggest fans like that, they don't want to put pressure on
On
us because
yeah. And that was her.
they
That was her.
already know what we doing. They so
Yeah,
happy about everything that we doing. And mentally in their minds, they like, you know, I'm gonna bounce back. I'm gonna be all right. He don't need to rush up here right now and see.
yeah,
I'm gonna be out of here in a couple seconds.
man.
That's like my mom. My mom is strong like that. She be going through some stuff, and then she'll wait till it's like, you know, to the last and be like, okay, I need to see you.
Yeah,
But they know what we doing and what we doing because they raised us like that. They raised us.
yeah. Facts.
They just, they pushed us to be out here to get it, to go get it, to never second guess who we are, what we can do, what we could be capable of doing. So that's what probably strives them and keep pushing on because they know that they can see in us that yeah, everything that I did, every hard work, every love, everything that I pushed out was for a reason, and I love who he is and what the man he is today.
They're able to see their fruit.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? They're able to see their fruit, and you know, again, like going back to that it factor. You know, that's one of the things that pushed me, bro. Is like, because again, the same hospital that I look at this building every day, bro.
yeah,
You know, and I have to run of a mix of emotions every day when I come in. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, I'm reminded to keep
yeah,
fighting. I'm reminded to keep fighting, keep going.
yeah.
You know, you're blessed. You're blessed beyond measure.
And he ain't
Keep
done with,
fighting.
he ain't done with you yet.
Nah, I know he ain't, man. I know he's not. You know what I'm saying? And I just, you know, again, like I said earlier, man, I'm so gracious for this journey, bro. You know, like I don't care what the reward ever is going to be.
Yeah,
I don't care what the reward is ever going to be. If I ever reach the status, cool.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but I've got to the point now to where this journey, man, and being able to see the growth, being able to have the peace, being able to share the experience,
Mhm.
and having somebody say, "Yo, that helped me," man, that's more than anything, man. That means more than any dollar amount that I'll ever make, ever.
And I was just about to express that same thing. Like sometimes and I'm not saying you, but some of us in this world, we're looking for that gratitude or not gratitude, maybe that um, that celebration from other people to let us know that what we're doing, like we know what we're doing, we know the hard work that we're putting in, but sometimes we need that validation sometimes to see other people kind of rooting us on. And,
Yeah. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah, and then it's like they're doing it, but sometimes they're doing it behind closed doors. They looking like, oh yeah, he doing it. I'm happy for him and
Yeah,
stuff like that. But the ones that we see every day, and for barbers, that person that you cut every day that sits in your chair, calls you up every week or every other week and sits in your chair, talks to you, lets you cut his hair. That's your validation.
that's your
You know,
validation, homie.
you know
Don't know what to say.
your friends that don't want to come to get a haircut. You don't need the superstar that you're trying to chase to come and sit in your chair. That's gonna probably sit in your chair one time, maybe twice, and you ain't gonna see him no more because when they go to another town in another city, they're gonna have another barber
They got another barber.
cutting their hair. So
Yeah,
you could put up a picture one time and recycle that same picture over and over again to say, "Oh, I had this person sit here and cut my hair." When that person every day that's calling you up, paying you 50, 60, sometimes 70, sometimes he's generous and give you 100 and be like, "No, take that." You be like, "Oh, I don't got no change." No, I know. You keep that 100. I
right.
got you. And walk out. That's the person and the people that you should be gratitude every day because they're rooting for you. They're keeping your business going. They keep you able to buy clippers and sanitizers and blades every time you need it because they believe in you and they believe in your business.
Right. Yeah. Those are the people you need to be saying thank you to.
Yeah.
Those are those are the people that you need to be saying thank you to. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm grateful for mine, man. I'm grateful to be back around my cast. I'm grateful to be back around. Uh, I'm grateful to have the people that I have around.
Yeah.
You know, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to come on this platform, talk your barber shit, and share my testimony.
Hey, man, I'm glad you jumped on there.
Yeah, share my experience, man. Because like I said, this is just an inkling of it,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some more things that I've had to endure and that we've had to overcome.
Yeah.
You know, that you would just be like, how in
Trust.
the hell?
I trust.
And I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I hope that somebody sees this and is like, yo, I'm ready to go tell mine. I'm ready to start sharing mine. Because that's what it took me to get to. You know, I'll tell you this. In April, I was blessed to go sit on the stage and let John Mosley cut my hair.
Oh,
Um,
that's
John's the big homie.
yeah.
Again, I haven't name dropped these relationships, but John's the big homie. Me and John talk on the phone about our kids. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Me and John talk on the phone about wholesome conversations.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, when me and John talk, we don't even
Right.
talk barber. We don't even talk barber. You know? So like, he was coming to Nashville for a class with one of the major supply stores. And they were having a day class in Nashville. He needed a model. And so I was blessed enough to be able to be the model. Went down, got there early. I met some amazing people. Shout out to Daniel Mason Jones, Ben Marlin. Shout out to the whole gang that was there that day. But we were just talking. And this was in April, and I think I'm starting to see the shift now.
Yeah.
We're starting to see the shift now to where people are wanting context in this content that people are making. We don't want no more glitz and glam.
Right.
We want context to the
Yeah.
content. You understand what I'm saying? And so we want to hear stories and experiences.
Yes.
And I was sharing
And
just a bit of
I mean,
what I've
I'm glad I'm able to do this because I feel like I was the one that kind of really stepped out the box a little bit to do something like this and get.
yeah,
I don't have a big platform. I don't have a lot of followers,
not yet.
but I feel like a lot of people see what I'm doing and know I'm genuine about
Yeah,
what I'm doing. And
yeah,
I don't need nobody to have 40K, 50K. I want the real individual, the real person. I want the real conversations that's being heard and being shared. Like having you on my platform. I love the story that you shared. I love the experience that you have. I love, even though, like you said, you have all these connections, but we talking about real life
mm-hmm.
situations to help us grow, to help us keep moving forward. And that's where I feel like reason why a lot of people are tuning in because they want to hear stories like from individuals like you. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, no doubt.
I had a lot of people that had all these followings and they didn't really tune in. Like, they probably watched some of the clips afterwards,
Right.
but ones that I had that didn't have a lot of following, a lot of people was tuning in and wanted to hear that person
Yeah,
speak. Yeah.
yeah, that's good, man. I tell you what, Garcia, man, you on to something special, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because being able just to finally meet
Yeah.
you, you know what I'm saying? When we met in Vegas, like
Yeah.
I could tell the characteristics, I could tell the wholesomeness, man. You know what I'm saying? I could tell the genuineness, you know. Um, and like you said earlier, God knows
Yeah.
your heart with this talk your barber shit stuff,
Yeah.
bro. You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, he the one brought this to me. I didn't have no idea. I was going through it because I was finishing up my hours in college for the barbering school. And,
Mm-hmm.
COVID hit and shut everything. I was almost done. I was like maybe like 50 hours left and then everything just shut down.
Mm.
I was like, man, what's going on? Like, man, am I ever going like with everything that else, like you said, everything else that I was dealing with, I'm like, now this? So, I just started reaching out people in my class. We started getting on, like communicating through Instagram and then started doing some lives and then just chopping it up and then it is organically started just taking this.
Started growing. Yeah, yeah. You ain't done yet,
Yeah.
man. You're not done. Again, you ain't even started to
Yeah.
ascend, man. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be. this is going to be one major platform in this beauty industry.
Yeah.
Not just the barber industry, the beauty industry, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's going to be so many other lanes, estheticians, makeup artists, nail techs, stylists that want to come tell their story and share their story that don't have a platform in their industry.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm going ahead and telling you right now, I foresee it. You're going to be able to open the lane, and this Talk Your Barber going to be Talk Your Beauty. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're trying to make people look good and feel good about themselves. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so salute to you with being able to step out on faith, even when you didn't see.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but because that's what faith is.
Yeah.
Those things not seen. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, salute to you, bro. And again, just anybody that's watching this, man, I challenge you. If you're a barber, I challenge you to get out in your community and do your homework. You know, do some due diligence to see what it is that your community lacks.
Yeah.
And see where you can plug and play into that.
Correct.
See what you can create and what you can offer in your space. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Because the barbershop is such a space, it's such a space of comfortability to people that are already fluctuating through your establishment.
Correct.
You'll be surprised at what type of things and what type of solutions you can create just right there in your barbershop, man. You know, we got a men's meeting that we have 2 Tuesdays a month in my barbershop. It's called the Bible
That's
Study.
dope.
And what it is candid conversation. And it's just for men. It's candid conversation from a biblical perspective. And so we're getting it in. We're chopping it up about pornography, gambling, addiction, infidelities.
Right.
Bro, we in here getting to it.
Yeah.
But you know what? Lives is getting saved in here. Bro.
Yeah. No, I
You know what I mean?
love that. That was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do it probably every other Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know, and some Tuesdays, if we go on Tuesday and it's real greasy when we get ready to close, we like, see y'all next week. You know what I'm saying? You know, we start at 7 o'clock and we've been in here 10:30, 11 o'clock some nights. You know, wives is coming knocking on the door like, my husband in here, you know what I mean? He be like, man, I told you where I was at. And they be like, ain't no way you been here the whole time. And then, you know, once they go home and they're like, yo, you know, Tuesday come around and be like, why you still sitting on the couch? Why you in the barber shop? You know what I mean? So, like I said, you guys will be amazed at what you can create in your own spaces that you're already operating in. You know, think outside the box, get out from behind that chair sometimes, and really get out into being an activist into your community, because you'll be surprised who you can affect, whose lives you can change, man. You know, we're role models and moguls in our community, whether y'all believe it or not.
Yeah.
You know, people look up to us because we make them look good and we make them feel good. And so, you know, that's what we do.
I just want to say thank you, man, for joining today. I mean, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you came and you talked your barbership with me. So I really appreciate you. This is not a one-time thing. Anytime you want to get on here and you want to talk your shit, just let me know. Like, hey, G, I got some stuff to get off and I'm ready to do it. You got some events, you got whatever you working on, man. This is your platform. This is what I created this for. It's not just to, you know, reach out to people, get them on one time. And I want this my community to like. I can't come fly to Tennessee every weekend. We can
right
live and we can connect and we can talk and we can do our thing.
I appreciate you having me on, man. I can't wait to bump into you again. What's the next show you hitting up?
You know what's funny? I'm going to the Houston one.
Are you going to Houston?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
talked to my platform a couple times, and he told me he got his show coming up. He wanted me to come out there, so I'm gonna make that.
That's what's up, man. Safe travels to you. I hope that show's a success. You know, I don't know what my next event. I know for sure we're doing MLB in November.
Okay.
I don't know what's coming in between that. You know what I'm saying? But I know we locked in now, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be able to chop it up. We're gonna be able to plan a meeting somewhere. You know what I mean? And so, I just appreciate you letting me on.
You know, hit me up. We gonna make some runs.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on and letting me talk my barber shit today, man. Salute to you, Garcia, man. You got a good thing going here.
Blessings, man. Have a great day. Enjoy the day. And yeah, like I said, we gonna connect. We locked in now.
We locked in, baby. You have a good week, man.
All right, you too, man.
All right, bro.
All right, go.
See you, man.